Hey everybody, Sandy here, aka Montolio, and you guessed it, we're back for another Vintage League and playing one of my old favorites today as I'm scrolling through my hundreds of lists of decks. I cruised by this one, and hard to resist this. It's been a little while, and I definitely love some five color shops. This is my ode to Roland Chang. Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope everybody had a great holiday and is feeling rejuvenated this year. Uh, Let's talk a little bit about the deck. For those of you who've seen my other videos, this will just be redundant on five color shops, but essentially the idea behind this deck is that you are playing a traditional workshop deck with all of the good cards that you love in Golos. You got your spheres, revokers, your crucibles, trinities, lodestones, and of course it's got some Urza Sagas in it to augment the smaller creature base. The fun thing about this deck is it's got a lot of broken cards in it. In Balance, Time Walk, Demonic Tutor, it's got Ancestral and Tinker. And we can tinker into a Sphinx of the Steel Wind. And essentially, that is what the crux of this deck is. It is reasonably reliable at being able to cast the colored spells. Golos does fix this problem significantly from five color shops decks of old. Preceding Golos' time, it does fix your mana base. And we've got a lot of the bullets that you would expect out of a deck like this in Tabernacle, Caracas. We can search up the Sagas, Wasteland, Strip Mine, whatever it is that we're looking for. And of course, we've got Jagantha the Wellspring as our companion, and you'd be surprised how many games I have won off Jagantha, whether it's attacking or being able to get Golos going. So being able to pay its mana requirements, which is typically the unread text on Golos. But that said, guys, I don't want to deliberate too much. Let's take her in, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please hit the like, subscribe button if you haven't done so before. Thanks. Hey everybody, here we are, round one, five color shops. Let's reveal that Jagantha to make everybody's day a little bit better. I typically, as a rule, will pop out companions, whether my opponents have one or I'm playing one. I find it's usually a little bit better to do it that way, as there are times that all of us will get distracted and forget about them. Or I shouldn't say all of us, but certainly I have in the past. Um, Not a tremendous start, but it threatens Wasteland lock depending on what we're playing against here. Obviously would have preferred to much more have a Lodestone Golem on turn one, but let's see what we're up against. We could get Wastelanded here, I guess, which would tempo us. Mana Crypt, okay. Is this white initiative? No, it's not. It's combo. Okay. If that was their keep, my goodness, that's scary. If I had had a sphere there, it would have been game over. Okay, well now. I mean, I think we played Lodestone Golem here. This is likely just getting forced, yeah. Okay, we don't have a follow-up, unfortunately. See if my opponent has the Tinker here. I mean, these are the weaknesses of the type of deck that I'm playing, right? Like, oh, I'm playing Jewel. Yeah, okay. Well, that's going to likely be a good game for me here, I would think. So close to landing that Lodestone, too. Okay. Coveted Jewel has come into a much more predominant place in the metagame since I last played five color shops. I think we can scoop this one up here. We're not going to be able to win this one. I think this is going to be a tough matchup for us because they're just a little bit faster than we are. We definitely want our tools here. Pyroblast. I think Pyroblast could be merited. Don't think Sphinx of the Steel Wind is where I need to be. I don't think Tinker adds up here. Ginger Brute is actually Ginger Brute could be okay at stealing the initiative out of nowhere. My opponent may not suspect that. That's something to think about. I don't think Pithing Needle is where I want to be. Balance is probably not what I want. Crucible could be okay. I don't think it's likely to be a huge player. Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale is certainly not what we're looking to do here. What's the best of these cards? I'm going to just bring in a random Pithing Needle, see how we do with that. I think that's fine. Let's take this in and try this out, guys. So my opponent should not have too much to interact with what I'm doing. I guess they do run spheres, but we're going to keep this one. Okay. I'm going to just put it on a Grim Monolith, I think. There was merit to not doing that and just waiting, but Sphere should be solid against my opponent. If we find a Soul Land now, we can cast Golos. Okay, Black Lotus probably was a smarter choice. Okay. Pretty decent hand from them, I guess. So they have a bunch of mana here. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm just going to cast the Lodestone Golem here. It does help against PO, and it can help me slow them down if they do Jewel and give me an option of potentially stealing the Jewel. And next turn we can just, in the least, pull Giganta back to our hand and Wasteland them. Obviously, giving them 3 mana here is not optimal, and I acknowledge that. But if they're trying to PO or something, this is pretty powerful. Okay. They got a lot of mana here. This is a Jewel, likely. Yep. All right. Let's see if my spheres gum them up a little bit. I acknowledge that. Oh, they just have Metamorphs. Yeah, of course. You know, Jewel is probably not used to playing against Fear Resistance, and the other spells that they're trying to cast could be impacted by the Lodestone that they're not expecting. So, like, if we somehow get to untap and get their Jewels, like, we're probably going to win. But not probably, we will win. Yeah. So we took the right line there. They fizzled. Gets a lot worse for us post-board. Certainly I'm feeling that right now. I mean, there's not much we can do. We just got to take this in and hope that it works. Okay, double Revoker, believe it or not, actually might be really good here if we can gum my opponent up long enough. Will give us creatures to be able to combat their Jewel should they resolve one. In addition to that, if they don't keep a hand that goes off turn 1, Revoker will likely find a home, let alone 2. So we'll see what happens. So there's a Mana Crypt. That's a good target. Key, okay. Another target. Okay. Monolith? No, wow. Okay. So we're probably going to resolve one of these, I hope. Let's see if the Lotus resolves. It does. I'm going to cast a Revoker here. They may have Dismember. Or Force of Will, which is happening. Ancestral Recall. That was definitely costly. All right. Not amazing, but we have gummed them up for... Hopefully they don't have a follow-up here. They do have the Workshop. Okay. Let's try and slow them down as best we can here. The Welder's not looking overly impactful at the moment, but let's see. We'll cast Welder next turn. Love a Wasteland off the top would be sweet. Monolith, okay. Well, that one's pretty scary because they can now do a whole bunch with the key. Wish I had played the Welder there. Wow, look at this. They can jewel, but I'm threatening to steal the jewel. Yeah, they have opted not to do that, and they're going to wait for their full mana to come. All right, well, we'll see what they can do here. Once again, the Sphere is doing some work. My opponent is at 9 life. Now, they're going to be able to do some things here for sure. But hopefully they can't go off on me. All right, nice win against what I deem to be a very difficult matchup. You know, the Workshop side of the deck in Revokers and Spheres are still a potent thing. See you guys next round. Okay, guys, here we are for round 2. We won the die roll this time. Let's reveal our buddy here. This looks like a nice hand. I mean, it's a little bit airy, but hopefully we can resolve the Sphere. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, 3. I can cast Jagantha, but that's not what I want to do here. I think we're just going to cast a Coveted Jewel. I expect my Sphere to get killed, countered, but we're going to do it anyways. Opponent might not like this. I mean, they're pausing like they have something, so I mean, that's fine. Cast my Sphere. And there's the Force. Get a Saga going here. Just thinking about whether I want to bring Jagantha back to hand here now. 3 in that next turn. That'd be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it doesn't really work next turn, but if I find a Soul Land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I don't get value out of Saga, I think we can wait a turn. Unfortunately, my opponent had a Force there. I think the Wasteland or the Sphere would have been very good had we resolved it, but of course that's always the issue. Time Walk here, yep. Opponent's down to 3 cards, soon to be 4, so they don't have a ton of resources to work with. Mentor? Nice, okay. Ancestral. Yep, you got it. That's disappointing. Okay. Just one short of being able to do Gigante here. Yeah, the Citadel. Okay. Yep. All right. Probably dead here. Yep. So once again, we've run into a combo deck, and um, I would suspect this is pretty bad for me. Like five color shops is meant to. Oh, that's going to be really good there. Not meant to prey on the combo decks, despite we can win as you saw in the first round. But I feel like this is a different level of opponent that I'm playing against here. No disrespect to my other opponents, but one, two, three. Yeah, they got me here for sure. Well, I'm going to let them play. Guess we'll see what happens here. Like they are at 4 life, so there's a lot going on for sure. They definitely can do a whole bunch of stuff here, but they can PO for a whole ton. I know this is not fun to watch this, but it just is kind of where we're at. I'm still pretty sure we're dead, but my opponent is at low life resources here. They can ancestral themselves now. Yep. And do they want a PO? Nope. All right. Well, I mean, see what they got. They got 10 cards in hand. They are very close to doing the ultimate on the Citadel, but that does not kill me. Yeah, they're just going to PO through their deck here. They've gone through how many here? Two POs. Okay. Just tinker? Yeah. Okay. Make sure they've got the key in their deck. Yep. Just making sure they execute. All right, so we definitely get a lot better post board. That is for sure. We don't have a ton to bring into combat combo, but we do have some. Don't think Sphinx and Tinker is really where I'm looking to be in this matchup. I think balance is fairly marginal. I don't think Gingerbread is what we're looking to do here. Pithing Needle is fine. I don't think we need a Tabernacle. Yes, they might have Mentor. That's always a risk when you're playing against these decks, but I don't think the benefit outweighs the risk more often than not. Okay, a little bit of a clunky hand, but you know, if we can resolve the turn 1 sphere, it is solid. I'm not sure if it's right to play the sphere there. I'm not going to play the needle out blindly at this point. I guess maybe I could have put it on top. Why did I do that? The nonsense is the binding top, just like so. And if they have a Saga, we can play Saga games too. But once again, they had the answer to our Force of Will, or to our sphere with a Force of Will. So very clutch from my opponent there. Okay. We're going to need some help here, I think, guys. Yeah, and that's why I should have played the Ancient Tomb, is exactly the situation. I am now passing to... Actually, I shouldn't have played that out either. Oops. Anyways, we're not playing this one very well here, unfortunately, but I should have known better, and I did think about it with reference to playing my workshop there. Yeah, jeez. Feels bad, man. Yep. Not even sure really what we're looking for off the top here. I guess a Null Rod would probably be one of our best draws. Sphere would be good. Hopefully they can't peel me again here. That would suck. Looks like they can. Mentor. Okay. Well, Mentor's a good one. The gig is up because if I had a Mind Break Trap, I would have used it long ago. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's why you play blue decks, right? They just do things like this, but my opponent had a very strong hand here. There's a Pyroblast, but that's a little bit late to the party, unfortunately. I mean, I guess I Time Walk here. Yeah, that was a really, really big mistake, me not playing the Ancient Tomb on turn 1. Huge. We're just going to have to hope that they have air in their hand and they're not able to toil with anything we're doing. Like, we can take a hit. Okay, that is not great, but I mean, it's better than them cantripping. If I can somehow set up this Saga with Time Walk and Pyroblast backup, it's like pretty solid. We're just going to take it. And it's hard to use the tomb here, right? Given our current situation, but it is what it is. All right. Let's hope it's not a dress down, eh? I mean, I'm going to make it. I got no choice but to do it. If it's a dress down, it really sucks. Now, what do I want to get here? I could get a Black Lotus. That way I can time walk with Pyroblast back up. I feel like that's just what I got to do here. The problem with the Black Lotus, I got to shrink my guy to do it, but it just is what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure my opponent's on off. Okay, they don't have nothing, so that ended up being a mistake on my part. Okay, there's my buddy. I wish I had that friggin'. I have to take another 2 damage here, sadly, though. I guess I don't. That's probably worth it. To hold up Pyroblast. Probably worth it. And just get another Saga going here. Yep, Saga's where we're at. Can't really attack. They have 4 creatures here, so just hope they keep bricking here. Like, we're kind of kicking around. Yeah, that's a nice one for sure. They're bigger than I am. Yep. All right, we need help here. Not even sure what that looks like. It's not that. um, can't really pay any more life. I might just have to go for this. Like, if my opponent probably, in my gut, is sandbagging another land. Yeah, I think I just have to attack with 2 of them here and just hope. I can't cast another spell into this, unfortunately, and I have to come off of playing. Like, I could play the Saga, So they're just banking on getting me here. All right, well, let's see what you got. Like, if they have any spell, I die. But I feel like I have to try and put some pressure on them here. Yeah, they got me. All right. See you guys next round. All right, guys, here we are for round 3. We are playing 5 color shops. We'll reveal our companion, Gigantha. Pop that out. I think this is a keepable hand. I don't really know what I'm playing against here. It's awkward. But I think we just pull Gigantha to our hand turn 1 off of the Saga. You know, if it's Bazaar, we might feel a little bit bad that we didn't hit their land with a Bazaar, but now, of course, if they powder, that will completely change the way I approach this, but you know, we basically what we're trying to play into here is we're covering a couple different angles with this hand. In turn 1, we can pull Gigantha back. We play the Urza Saga to do that. Next turn, we get to untap. We have an active Saga with a Wasteland, or we can active Saga and play Wasteland or play Needle. So this is a little bit suspect, right, in the sense that I probably should have played the Urza Saga first, because if I get Force of Vigor, it's not ideal, but we'll try it out this way. Gigantha's not likely to do anything in our hand for a couple turns, but fairly low impact turn 1. But we're setting ourselves up for a strong turn 2, hopefully. I don't recommend you try this at home, kids, but it's the play we made, and we're sticking with it. Is this Doomsday? Nope. Okay, so we're playing against some form of combo again. I think I made the wrong deck choice for this league. This is the 3rd combo match in a row I've played, and okay. Well, we found a home for our Needle at least. Okay. I think Wasteland is going to be more effectual here. We'll sit back on the Saga for this turn. We can set up a Tinker next turn. If they had Time Vault, they would have done it last turn almost assuredly. We are vulnerable to that play here, but I honestly think we just do Saga tokens here. Quite like what we have going on. Get a Soul Ring. Build my count up here for my constructs. Put this on Manifold Key. Yep, okay. Play a Wasteland, and we're going to get in for 5. Okay, let's see what they got. If they keep missing here, I'm feeling good about things. I guess I should have got colored mana maybe for the Tinker there, but I have Golos. Okay, so we're playing against a blue deck. So I think it's probably fine to bring these in. I don't think Ginger Brute's what I'm looking to do here. Against blue decks, I do not really like the Tinker package in the Sphinx. I guess it's because I'm playing against combo this particular league. It's obviously very good when you're playing against Bazaar decks. Don't want balance there. So again, I'm going to take out the Tabernacle. I did get roasted, as I said last game. Taking out the Tabernacle, it would have been a different game had I had it. But You know, the truth is maybe Caracas is just, no. Could it be? Maybe it's just better to have this as an out against something like Mentor. I doubt it. I don't think I need all these Crucibles. Let's try something like this. The basic actually doesn't even need to be in my deck. I'm not sure why I did that. It's fine. Okay, this is reasonable. Not great, but reasonable. If I can get this card down, that would change the way this game looks. Oh, come on. This dirty pool doing that. Look at this. So our percentages of winning this game just went down dramatically. My opponent goes Ancestral into Lotus into Soul Ring. I guess Tinker would be your next ultimate restricted card. Brainstorm, okay. They still have Tinker up here if they can pull it off. And I will almost instantly die if that's the case. I brought no red in, right? I'm sure I did. Yep. Hopefully they have to burn this mana. Nope, I got it. Hull Breacher, okay. Hull Breacher is reasonable. We still can get wheeled next turn, unfortunately, but my hand does not look very good here. I'm playing the Sphere. Okay, that was good. That helps. That helps a little bit. Well, not really. I'm talking up like it was a significant draw. It's not. Still got to lead out with the Sphere, unfortunately. It inhibits my next turn, but it just is what it is. I have to do it. This way we can play out Crucible next turn and Wasteland potentially if they play a Saga here. There's nothing we can do to stop a wheel. Okay, so my Wasteland is on. That's something. And we are inevitably going to have to deal with this Hull Breacher. One way we could do it is if we find a red source and we get the Welder in, they counter my Golos, we can bring it back. That will stifle it. Okay, my opponent, ooh, that was a nice draw. I suspect my opponent has a 1, 2, 3, 4. I suspect my opponent can just counter this. I may as well hide that we have the Wasteland until, okay, so that did work. Now that we have this, next turn I will try and get them with the Revoker. I want to debate with the Crucible here because the Revoker is the better of the two cards here. But this sets us up next turn that we can Wasteland potentially and Revoker. Because I don't think my opponent would have let that resolve. Okay, that's good news for us. Maybe. Oh, they got my Wasteland. That's not good news. Okay. Nice. I was feeling really good about myself there. Maybe a little bit too cocky. Okay, they're burning it now. That makes me feel better. Wow. Okay, they're just in on those Sagas, which is pretty reasonable. I guess we need to either cast our Golos, find a waste, or stripped effect right now. That is neither of those things. I cannot cast the Lodestone Golem, so that is out. I have one play. We're going to put it on Soul Ring. I shall put it on Mana Crypt. That would be more apt to get tinkered away, I guess. But if they PO, it means that they at least have to pay a mana for the Soul Ring. Maybe I'll put it on Soul Ring. The truth is I'm going to have to get in front of this thing here soon. I mean, this game is not completely lost, but them getting my Wasteland away from my lock is pretty significant. We are floundering here. And to boot, my opponent has a couple of Sagas going now, which is pretty bad for me. Those are going to take over the game. Guess if we can find a Black Lotus or an Academy would be good. My opponent did not want to attack in with their Hull Breacher. And they got Hardcast Force of Will. Solid. Oh no, they're just making a construct. Yep, makes sense. Cannot do anything here. Nor can I actually make a construct next turn. Unless I find a mana producer. But that is not an unreasonable ask. The fact we're even hanging around in this game is something else after my opponent's turn one, but these are going to be big guys. Bigger than me here too, so I'm probably going to have to take the first one. What will be interesting to see if they get a key. A key is probably going to kill me because I won't be able to block. Okay, top. That makes me feel better. If I get this Golos going, like that would be pretty sweet. I'm going to have to take the first one here. Yeah, okay. That's a bit of a blessing that they just came in with the one. So what are we looking for here? Wasteland would be fine. Null Rod would be good. Okay, that's solid. Really makes their guys big guys. This game is, for all intents and purposes, over. But if there's some world where I can get this into a Tabernacle and this into play, I might be able to get them. I think it starts by casting Goldos right now, which we were able to accomplish. And we just have to try and get ourselves into a position where next turn I can cast Karn. I guess I can bring a Lotus into play. Oh, they get Force. No, okay. Well, that was weird. I guess they're just blind searching. But they knew what was on top. Like, what does Tabernacle do to them? 1, 2, 3. Not a lot. But next turn, I'm going to have a Karn come into play, which is going to make it a lot tougher on them. Kind of think that's my line. Because these constructs are just so much bigger than anything I'm doing. Or maybe not. I don't know. Oh, did I take that? I don't even have the Tabernacle. That's funny. I guess I did end up leaving it on my board. Yep. Okay. That is gone. Well, we're going to have to do some chump blocking here, unfortunately. What we can do is we can chump double block with the Golos on one of them. I guess it depends how big these things get. Like if they pump and make one here and then another creature, I have to block both of them. So let's see what happens here. If my opponent does not have another land, let's get a Pith and Needle. Put it on my Saga. Okay. Yeah, that does kill me. So they recognized it here. So if they don't go for it here, which would be insane if they didn't. 1, 2, 3. They have enough. But maybe they'll just think that because their guys are so big that they're forcing me to wipe my board and they'll get me next turn. Like maybe they'll get arrogant here. And they'll just cast something. No. No, they're doing it. Okay, they're just sequencing it weird. Okay, can't do anything about it. All right. I think my opponent's inexperienced. They've done a couple plays that I found very suspicious. I definitely don't need this snow-covered mountain. I think I'm just going to get the extra Crucible in here and try and lock them out that way. I think we're favored in the Saga matchup in general. Like if that's how we're dueling, because I have Golos to go and find the tool that I need to kill their Sagas. Yeah, I mean, seems good. No playing around trap here. I acknowledge I do not have any pressure on the table with this line, but it's a strong one. My opponent may feel safe to do this because they have basics in their deck, but we are going to draw into being able to do some plays here. We've got a very strong mana base on the table right now. Hopefully my opponent casts, Mox Opal. Has to tap their land to do it, or fetch, playing themselves into the powerful line of Strip Mine Crucible, and they are making a play here. Ooh, what does that mean? Okay. Okay. I mean, it wasn't great for me, but okay. No play. Let's bring my buddy back to my hand here, Giganta. Every's a card I've had a little bit of love-hate relationship with in this deck, but I do think it's very good in certain circumstances. It can just win you a game when opponents are trying to counter your spells and they're losing equity every turn because Emery just brings it back. It's like, look at my mana, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to keep on doing my thing here. I do realize I need to start deploying creatures here shortly, but I'm hoping to run my opponent out of air. Like, I have a substantial amount of turns here before this crypt does me in, but hopefully we can keep draw a spell that matters. Oh, that's unfortunate. Jeez, they ripped a Lotus. It's a nice draw, the Golos, if I can resolve it. Probably be hard pressed to do so, but if it gets in, it's really good for me. Nope. Okay. Yep. Okay, Hercule's Recall. Nice. Mm-hmm. These 3 in a row I've lost. That's getting a little bit ominous, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next turn, I can start making stuff. Okay. Yeah, my hand has not really come together. I've kind of drawn some not great top decks. I mean, the Golos was a nice one, I guess. Well, not I guess it was a nice one, but my opponent could answer it. But this Mana Crypt could come back and bite me here. If I can get, I don't know what I can get. Yep, 4 in a row. That's a card, though, that could help me here. Guess I'll play the Strip Mine here. Next turn, I can cast a Welder and try and get rid of that Mana Crypt. And bring back a Golos. That would be strong. Very strong. Losing 5 out of 6 Mana Crypt flips is very improbable. Is this a PO? What is this? Well, interesting. That was very bizarre. Let's see if they have a dress down here. Another one here. We're going to get a Ruby. I think I attack. They have a bounce spell here, like a Hercules or a Dress Down. That's my feeling. But maybe not. Get this guy into play here. I think I just make another Saga. No. Okay. All right, we got that one. I mean, we were gonna welder out the mana crypt, bring back the Golos, and we were gonna be off to the races there for sure. But I mean, obviously my opponent was dead there on the attack. But if they had an answer, that was gonna be what we were gonna do. Hey everybody, okay, here we are for round 4. And there is our buddy. Oh, we did win the die roll. Okay. I mean, 3-ball can just win. This is very, very awkward having, the 2 restricted cards, but what are you going to do? We could lead out with turn 1 Ginger Brute into Sphere, but I don't think that's likely to be anywhere near as good. 3-ball just literally can beat people. Nope, not today. Disappointing. Of course. Of course they've got a Lotus. Why wouldn't they? Okay. Doomsday, yep. They don't have a land in play. Yeah, we're going to need a bit of help here. I mean, let's see if they can kill me right here, but it's not likely. But they could. Yep, that'll do it. As long as they have a land. Yeah, now they got it. What a hand, man. Mm-hmm. Okay. No. All right. Well, I did not expect that. This is a very, very difficult matchup for me to win. I had a really decent hand there too. Just the reality is that not good enough. They're likely to have Steel Sabotage, so that makes this pretty bad. Balance, I might be able to do something with balance. Okay, I think this is fine. Tabernacle actually should get out of there. We don't want that. You never know. That 1 point of damage could matter. Can't tell you how many times I've lost to Doomsday at 1 life. Not truly justifying that as a reason to play Ginger Brute, but it could be relevant. And for lack of better sideboard options, that's what we're going to do. I don't think this is a hand we can keep. We're going to mulligan that one. This hand is awkward, but I'm going to keep it. Get rid of Crucible here. Do they have another force? Yes, of course they have another force. So what makes this somewhat playable is that we've got the Phyrexian Revoker next to throw down on Lotus if need be. And if we get lucky and get into a Soul Land or better, we can cast Crucible of Worlds and try and attack their mana base. This is not an optimal setup here. I have beaten Doomsday with this deck. It's just really difficult to do. And, you know, like my opponent absolutely high rolled me game one. And, you know, there's nothing you can do against that, right? Like, we're not running any, we have skewed this matchup completely. We are not running Mindbreak traps. We're not running Archive traps. Like, we're just trying to not play Doomsday is essentially what's happening here. But who knows? I don't know how competent of an opponent this is. I don't recognize their name here. But they seem to be navigating very well with this deck here. Well, very well. I mean, it was about as easy of a win as you could have had game one for them. They had the literal stone cold nuts. Turn one Doomsday is not easy to pull off when you're on the draw to boot. They had the Force of Will for the Trinisphere, Lotus into Doomsday, Gitaxian Probe into Street Wraith, into their Lotus and Ancestral, and just outright killed me. And they didn't even need a land to do it. That's pretty peculiar. But let's see what my opponent can string together here. You know, we do have this on Lotus, I guess, which is something. My opponent is low on resources. This presumably would get to attack. And what would be ultimate ideal is if I draw a land that allows me to cast the Revoker, to wasteland them, and then revoke them on Lotus. And then we probably win. But let's just get to our turn here first and see what happens. Okay, we do get another turn. Land. Well, see if we can resolve this. Probably should check that they don't have a Black Lotus. And yeah, we'll see if we get to untap here again. Yes! All right. I might want a Pithing Needle, another needle to put it on Street Wraith, to be honest. Like, balance does not seem good. Where you need balance to be good is, like, you need a hand that explodes onto the table. And you can get these hands with this deck, Greg. I have literally mind twisted my opponent's entire hand away turn one, once or twice. It's not common, but it can happen. But I don't think any of these other cards are good. Like, maybe is Tinker just better than, you know, the Ginger Brute? Like, probably it is. Yeah, let's give her a go. And this is not one we can keep. They have mulligan. We're going to mulligan as well. I guess begrudgingly, I'm going to keep this. And what we do is we Ancient Tomb Revoker on Black Lotus turn one. Then the next turn we can untap and we can have Spire of Industry up. I mean, the best thing we could do is find a Mox or a Lotus here. That would be solid. I guess let's see if we can resolve her. I can't resist taking the Mox Jet. Oh, they've got a Sabotage. Oh, I thought I screwed that up, guys. Maybe this is just a fatal push here. Interesting, okay. I'm going to attack and see what happens here. I'm going to, against my better judgment, play a Saga here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast a Chromatic Lantern, to which my opponent probably is not feeling overly scared about. And this is going to allow me to set up a Pyroblast this turn if I need it. And next turn I can strip mine a whole Pyroblast up. So it's pretty strong. Now, my opponent may just cast Doomsday outright right here. And we might not be able to survive, but let's see. They'll be down to 2 cards. Yep, I cannot stop it. I guess I'd love another Revoker. I'd love, excuse me, I'd love a Null Rod. I'd love a Sphere. These would all be good plays. Let's see if we can get to untap. That's the key here. Probably our only saving grace here right now, or one of our saving graces, is that they likely are not expecting a Pyroblast out of me. They're low on cards. Okay, I only see 1 Daze. 1 Force of Will. 2. So there's likely a Force of Will in their pile. Could be a Daze. Let's draw something. Looking at Street Race here, 3, 4. So Street Wraith is not going to be impactful here. I don't really think there's anything I can set the needle on. Gush does not stop this. Like, Strip Mine does not stop Gush. Guess we Wasteland. Don't have any really other plays here. Okay, I mean, let's get in. We win next turn if we get to untap. So I guess really what this ultimately comes down to is my Pyroblast going to work? And if they've gone into a Gush here, like, what did they go for? I'm presuming this is a Gush kill. I didn't even look that up. Yes, it's Gush. They don't even have an Ancestral. So If my Pyroblast works, we're in good shape. Here goes. Do we get away with a Pyroblast out of Shops? A Flusterstorm? What? Oh my. I mean, I guess I pay. All right. Okay. Wasteland, Sphere, Wasteland's better. That is just the literal worst thing I could draw. What can I get here? I'm gonna have to make it. Gingerbrute? Is it in my deck? I don't think so. Pithing Needle. Doesn't do anything. I guess I can pull Giganta to my hand here. I mean, there's a chance they can't play it out this turn. I guess it's however they sequence their library, but it's not likely. This is 3/4. That's what I got. Nobody can't say I didn't. Oh yeah, baby! Woohoo! Can't deal with Gigantha the Wellspring. Digest. That was a nice win. That was a really key Pyroblast on that gush, and I guess they did not have the Oracle set up as their fourth card, so they were going to draw that without any further draw engine. So yeah, our guys were going to get there, but I mean, we played with what we had. It wasn't optimal, but was just enough to disrupt the opponent. And once again, like if I was playing against a top tier Doomsday pilot, I probably would not have gotten away with that. And that's no disrespect to my opponent. I am not a Doomsday expert at all. So, hats off to them. I thought they played really well in game one for sure. And I just have to question whether um, a high tier Doomsday pilot would have been able to pull off game 2 or 3. But that said, hope you guys enjoyed that one. We'll see you next round. All right, guys, here we are for round 5 of our Vintage League with 5-color shops. Let's see how we do. Can we sneak the 4-1 in? It's funny with the 5-color shop deck because I mean, I have 5-0'd with this deck a couple times. It's not easy to do, especially when you've had a league what I have here. I've run into combo 4 times, and I'm 3-1 versus it. Like that is asking a lot out of my deck to do that. But when we get up against other mid-range strategies, and this is where 5-color shops really shines. We haven't even seen those yet, so. Um, it's not easy to trophy with this deck, I guess is what I'm trying to say, but I usually put up pretty good numbers with it, at least in leagues. I don't have the gumption to take this into a challenge. Um, but that said, I think it could do well in a challenge. Now, we did not win the die roll. What does this hand do for us? We can turn 1 Time Walk. And then we can get Urza Saga going. I think this is probably reasonable. It's a little bit sketchy depending what we're playing against. We get the extra draw step, but if the time lock resolves, my opponent will not know what we're on either necessarily. I guess anyone who plays Vintage regularly, I guess, will know what a Jagantha typically means. But I mean, I've never seen Jagantha played except for 5-color shops. Uh-oh. Is this white initiative? Looks like it. Okay, Cleric. Let's see what this is. Is this the Orc? I prefer it if it is. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's a good start from them. But I mean, if that was like an Archon or a White Plume, or not a White Plume, a Peacekeeper, it would probably be a little bit more difficult on me, given the structure of my hand here. Play draw does matter, I guess, eh? We're going to be a big lad. If we can find our way into this Golos here, it'd be pretty nice. This would hold this thing back at least for a turn. Actually, that's not true because they're going to trap next, or they're going to forge next turn. All right. I have not run into white initiative in this league. This is the second league I've done today. I played a league earlier with white initiative, and I did not run into it. And this is the first time I've run into it in this league. In challenges, it's just everywhere. Yeah, I mean, we're going to play the Saga here. Get a locker in. I'd love to find a Mox here. Okay, Tomb's pretty decent, actually. Guess I'm going to name Wasteland. And this is going to be able to make my guys really big next turn. Okay, Mana Grip doing the Lord's work over there. Let's see what they follow up here. They have a 5/5. I can make a 3/3. Just going to take the 5 here. No follow-up? Oh, they have a Plains for sure. I know that. Oh, Ancient Tomb. Oh, I guess they've got the Seasoned. Karn. Okay. And they just get a Needle? That's actually really bad for me. Okay. Oh, I forgot that bugger on taps. The Ginger Brute. That's friggin' wild. Forgot it was in there. The only problem is I can't animate him because of Karn. I have to make my golems here. I just don't really have a choice. Difficult decision here. And we go after Karn, right? I unfortunately have to get rid of this Karn. Would have loved to. How slick would that have been had it gone after Karn with this and took the initiative with Ginger Brute? That would have been really solid. I have never played against initiative with my 5-color Shops deck, so this is a little bit of an interesting matchup. I have played a little bit of Shops versus initiative, but it's me pulling aggro Shops out. Just letting it go, eh? Interesting. Okay, they're going to trap me. Just going to jump block with this thing. Maybe I can't afford to do that, but I kind of have to, right? If I can get rid of Karn, like turning my Soul Ring back on is pretty big game. They're just going to trap me here, presumably. Putting me to 6, and that takes me down to 1. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's all right. Take it up 1. Shuts off my Ancient Tomb, though. That's bad. Can't do that. All right, let's see what they do. I mean, maybe they just got all lands in hand. I don't know. Going to give me an opportunity to do that. I will. This is likely a Solitude coming down. Yep. Oh, it shrinks my guy. Yep. All right. It's going to ice me. I guess if they let me... well, this can't get through to Karn. Soul Land, I guess, maybe keeps me around. No. Guess I'll bring the Giganta back. I mean, no reason not to. We'll probably chump block the White Plume. I guess it depends on what they follow up with here. The one good thing is that I gained a substantial amount of life off the Solitude there, so that's solid. Boy, is White Plume doing work here, keeping their guy around. If you watched my White Initiative video, I did comment on that as to one of the underappreciated features or pieces of text on the White Plume is its ability to protect the initiative is so strong. Like, this is just an example of, like, I could have had it several times, but White Plume keeps on tapping. And that's the good news. They're drawing a card is not good news. I do think that I just chump here. Probably worth it, just to maintain my life total as best I can. Let's see what they got here. Okay, that is probably going to get me. Maybe not. They're going to name Golos for sure, right? Which is a strong play because I got 3 of them in my hand. I guess a workshop helps there. Yep. Let us see. They're going to go into the throne here, sadly. All right, that gets me. What do we have in our sideboard that can help here? Definitely want this. I think we can try Maze of Ith here. We're going to bring in Worm Coil. Could see a pithing needle. We probably don't need a second needle. I don't think Sphinx of the Steelwind is likely to be good in this matchup because they have so many swords effects. Balance is strong. Golos, Karn. I like all of these cards. Dump a Crucible. Let's try this out, guys. Turn 1 Crucible. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. It's a bit suspect. Like, if my opponent has a big turn 1 play and gets the initiative, it might be hard for me, but this protects my mana base. Like, these are two strong creatures here. Wormcoil is a must answer, and it will not be easy to block. Golos can replenish itself with a land. They can't mess with my mana base. Like, they don't have typically ways to remove Crucible of Worlds. Now, if they're on Serenity, then that's a bit of a different story. Well, let's just get this going and get this game going. Yep, that Mana Crypt again. All right. Like, Mana Crypt and Black Lotus are literally the two best cards they could have in their opener. Cleric, okay, is going to be the Orc again. Strong. I guess let's see if they have an answer to my buddy here. No answer yet. Okay. So I dodged a Solitude there. Let's just hope they don't have a Swords to Plowshares here. So they decided to scry. That's good news to me. That to me indicates that they do not have an answer at hand here. So Golos might be able to buy me some time here. If I can steal the initiative, would be sweet. Okay, they do have the Seasoned Dungeoneer. That's pretty scary. I cannot stop that. Like, I'm not in a good position here, for sure. I'm not. But I guess I could go for like Strip Mine here. Yeah, that's sweet. Let's get busy going here. The life gain is huge here for me. I can't imagine they block here. The question is, what do I want to get here with Golos? And we definitely want to go. I think I just got to get Urza Saga, right? Yeah. Do Wasteland here, try and keep my Saga around. Probably want to play the Spire in case I draw an Ancestral or Time Walk or something like that. Because otherwise it'd be, I could play Ancient Tomb next turn. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's my play. Good news is they don't have the initiative. The bad news is that they got a White Plume in their hand. So I'm not sure who's winning this game. Probably they are. But if they give me enough time, I guess I should be actively looking to set up Gigantha and Golos here. They do have this Mana Crypt working with them here too, so that could become relevant. Yep. Cannot block it. Another White Plume, jeez. There's Catacombs, okay. I mean, it's quite a bit of damage they're bringing through here. They can do this twice. Throne of the Dead, yeah, we're gonzers. We're gonzy, guys. Yeah. They can do this again. They can get into Forge here. Insane. Yep. Pretty decent turn from my opponent, eh? Well, now. I'm going to have to attack with the Wormcoil. I have to get the life here. Just block with this, right? They could take it. Yep. Okay. Gives me 2 blockers. I gain 6 life. It does make my construct bigger. So they can forge here, and they can get into trap. Like, I'm going to have some good-sized constructs here. Plowing in, and I still have some life gain on the table. They should not be able to kill me this turn. The problem that I'm faced with here is that all of their stuff untaps. They can attack me with everything. I cannot block it. This is likely to be, 7, 11, 16 damage, 17, 18 damage here with full blockers back. So a bit scary. I mean, my best out is Time Walk. If I can find a Time Walk, I have a chance. This is definitely one of the best outings I've seen from White Initiative, in the sense that, like, my opponent has just literally been laughing at me with reference to keeping the initiative here. Like they just faced down a worm coil without even flinching. Like 2 white plumes, 2 seasoned Dungeoneer. They have a 3rd white plume coming. Definitely a very strong start from my, or strong game from my opponent. Yeah, I keep winning those flips. That's what the bad news is for me. But I'm going to be coming through with I mean, not very good amount of damage next turn. I can't really attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not likely to be able to animate goals this turn. I'm pretty much dead. No rod. Okay. A lot of damage, dudes. And their whole board on taps to boot. And once again, they foiled me from using my Ginger Brute. No rod just came down there. It's unreal. It does absolutely nothing against me with the exception of that. It's funny. Balance, Demonic Tutor. This will force some blocks, depending on what my opponent has in their hand. They could be on Solitude, which just ruins me. But may as well get the Brute. I have to go with the Lifelinker. Actually, I don't because I have the Mesa Ith here, but that's all right. Let's see if they have a Solitude here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are they putting me on a Mana Crypt flip? Spread it around a little bit. I think they have a Solitude here. That's my guess. They've put themselves on a Mana Crypt flip, interestingly enough. Unfortunately, my land comes into play tapped. I would like to get sagas going, but this is what I have here. I have to do this. Nice. I don't know how I won that game. My opponent, I think, made a mistake not blocking there. I don't think they have a way to remove the bridge. On the draw, I don't think I want to be doing that. Let's go. Guess Emery's good at bringing back worm coils potentially, but maybe not. Like those are likely far more likely to be exiled. Well, we just have to do better. Yeah, much better. Try this out. Not keen to put the land back, but it's one of the things I can get off of initiative. Just have to hope they don't have a stellar start on me. Thalia. Alright, okay. It's pretty scary. Get it down while I can here. I think it's likely I get wastelanded. The Academy's going to help me out there a bit. Okay. Yeah, this is awkward, isn't it? Okay. No play. I mean, I like the maze. Let's hope they don't have a land here. They do. All right. Problem for me is they've got the initiative here. I mean, I had an opportunity, right? That's the interesting thing. I had an opportunity. Well, let's see. Like they can go through the trap here 4 times and kill me. The null rod makes it so I can't get through. I guess my way to win this now is to... I mean, they're not going to be able to get through with that. I guess they can, but I can block it. I can't strip mine them out yet. Guess I get a Caracas? I think so. If my opponent leaves me alone, Caracas is definitely the most powerful play. I'm going to take their tomb here away from them. Now, if they forge this, they can't attack. So they've gone scry. They acknowledge that. All right. Okay, so the Archon's a good one. That's a nice one. I do have a lattice here, but the problem with lattice is this. Just kind of time walk. I think I bounce Golos. It's kind of anti-synergistic in the sense that I'm wanting to stop them here, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, very interesting game. I would like to, yes. I think I get strip mine. Do you know what's interesting here, guys? Like the Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale is starting to actually come into play here. I guess I don't need to do it now. Maybe I just start stripping them out. Okay, I think this is decent here. Like if they leave this combo alone and they allow me to set it up, that I can get Tabernacle and Wasteland them, strip mine them out of the game. All right. They can only come through with the one. And the maze is in my deck again because of initiative to be able to stop these unblockable guys. Well, let's see what happens here. I mean, my opponent does play Wasteland, so now it's possible that they have Solitude here. Yep. And I mean, look, does that suck? Yeah, it does. But I've set myself up if I find another Golos, and I did, to now be able to go and get. Well, I don't know that I'm ready to get Tabernacle. They've used all their stuff here. I think I'm just going to go and get some more mana producing. Maybe we just get another Saga. Saga's not really that good, though. Like, what does Tabernacle do? Tabernacle does make it that they have to use their mana here. I think I'm ready to get a tab. I think it's fine. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, they lost. I mean, we were inevitably going to get there in that current situation. My opponent could not profitably attack in. We were either going to find a Crucible. We did find the Golos to be able to keep bouncing our stuff. They were not going to be able to remove it for a number of turns. We were in a good holding place, very likely for 2 to 3 turns before something went wrong on my end, and the Golos itself would have set itself up that we had an army that they weren't going to be able to combat. So, yes, we had it would have probably taken me enough time for my opponent to time out to orchestrate everything, but I believe that with the strip mine lock and Tabernacle, we were very likely to be able to remove their creatures. If that was not going to fail, we would have been able to hold them in that given game state underneath our ensnaring bridge, and we would have eventually found something like a welder into a crucible to remove our ensnaring bridge when we were ready to do it, and cycling our Golos, etc. Like we were going to get there, despite I'm not articulating this properly. I felt like we were in a winning position there, and really nice 4-1 for 5-color shops. I feel good about that beating White Initiative in particular, given its potency in the metagame right now. Really I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this, and I do appreciate it. And hit that like and subscribe button, guys. We'll see you next